Hey guys, Opal here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a speed build of my new Plaza design, and I really just wanted to redo my Plaza to fit in the Confectionary store that we got in the premium shop a couple weeks ago, and also the ratatouille fountain that I really wanted to fit in, but I didn't have enough space in my last design. I also wanted to use the hedge bushes that we got in the Alice in Wonderland, I think. So yeah, this is me doing the pathing, and I just skipped to all of the brick pathing done because it took a very long time. And then I just placed the ratatouille fountain and these, and just bordered the pathing in kind of like a circle around the fountain. I think my last build was maybe a little bit too had too much pathing, so in this build I wanted to make sure that there was a little bit more greenery. So on these sides I just border it off, and then I add some hedges and some trees in the middle. I also wanted to have a little sitting area in the front with the 2 clock towers on each side. I also wanted to add these archways in because I think they add a lot to the city core like feel, and I also use them as an entrance to get behind the buildings to get to the mining nodes, as well as little grass areas where resources will spawn. This is when I decided to put the hedges in and then border around the hedges, sort of like I did in my Toontown. I just think it's a really simple and easy way to add a lot to the build without really doing anything or putting a lot of items. And then I just adjust all the fencing so it looks even, whether this is me doing 3 pillars in the middle or joining them up with 2. And then I just add some seating, and I tried to put these banners but I couldn't find a good spot for them, so I just put some bins down. And I don't really like the look of the gap in between the pathing, but I couldn't really find anything to place there, so I just left it as is. I decided to keep these little areas grassy just because I couldn't find a way to hide the gapping, and I think this looks a little bit better, maybe not as city core like, but it's nice to have some grassy areas, so I think it worked well. And then for these sides, I just decided to border them off with the hedges again. And I forgot that this store was on an angle, so I had to just put a little fence in so you can still access the building. And it took me a while to figure out the best placement for the hedges and the fence, because I didn't like the 3 pillar, I don't know what you call it, but how it had 3 poles. So I just moved it over one, so yeah, it looks a little bit better. Then I just added these little Japanese trees because they're just 1 tile wide, so they fit perfectly in this space. And then I just added some benches and a little bit of foliage in the grassy area. Then I tried to fix this area up a bit, give it a little bit more decoration, but I really couldn't figure out what to do with this bit, so I kind of went back and forward on a couple things, but in the end I just put it back to normal and put some bushes in and a little bit of foliage. Now I just border off this grassy bit and the front of this building with some hedges, and as I said earlier, I use this area as an entrance into that grassy area, and this is where the mining node is and where I'm hoping a lot of my items will spawn. And then I just decided to move the pathing so it lines up center with the building. And then I just add a couple trees in here to fill out the space a little bit. And then on this side I just decided to do a little sitting area with some bins and benches. Then again I border off this area with some hedges. And I really wanted to do a sitting area for Remy's restaurant, but you'll see me doing it soon, but I didn't really like how it looked, so instead I went with a fountain and some greenery. I also really wanted to use these hedges like I did in my last Plaza build, but I decided to just put them somewhere else because there was already quite a lot to fit into this build. So here's where I tried to use our new seating and tables that we got in the star path, but I think they just looked a little bit funny in this area. So instead I decided to go with the partner statue. For this little side area, I didn't really do much. I just boarded it off and left it as it was. And then this is when I decided to take all of this down and put a partner statue. The only issue was this didn't line up, so I tried to extend the pathing, but I thought this looked a little bit funny. Then I just put a little bit of clutter outside the houses. Mostly just barrels, flower pots, and some bikes. And to make it look less, what is the word for it, not centered, I just deleted some of the pathing underneath and put some bushes in, and I think this works a little bit better than just having the pathing underneath, because I think it takes away some of the unevenness. And then on the other side I have the bakery, which I really wanted to do a little sitting area out the side of it. And then I also just extended and redid the pathing on this side to make it even with the other side. And I did the exact same thing of fencing it with hedges and fencing. this is where I put the little sitting area for the cafe, and in the future I'm going to put some baked meals, cooked food on the table just to give some more decoration to the space. And then I decided to redo this side and copy it on the other side. So I just did 2 benches and these flowers, and the exact same thing on the other side. And then I added these hedges like I did with my last Plaza design. I kept the same area because I really liked it, and I think it just fills out a lot of the space if you have a big blank pathed area. And then I just looked for the grates and added these to the build. So here is the final walkthrough of my new Plaza design. I really love this entrance area. I think it's super cozy, super cute. I really love this new fountain that we got in the premium shop. It's so nice to have new fountains. Here's the little bakery sitting area. And the walkthrough to the mining node, and hopefully where my resources will spawn instead of spawning all over the main area of my plaza. And then here's the other side with the statue. And Remy's restaurant and the other walk area to the mining node. Here is some overview shots in furniture mode just because it's a little bit easier to see. I really love how this build turned out. Hopefully I keep it in my valley for longer than I did my last build. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this gave you some inspiration.